I went out and had lunch with a couple of my artist buddies 2 days ago, Travis and Mike, and their thoughts on AI are just where I was. But then I never took the time to think of AI as an asset. I only thought of AI as a boogeyman, you know? And, I had a conversation with my buddy JB yesterday on a podcast about, data centers and how they're becoming a conversation. And, people want their cake and want to eat it too. They want faster internet. They want more access to more computation, more Wi-Fi. They want AI. They want to be able to tell their lawnmower how to cut their lawn and then leave and let it do it. And none of that stuff happens by itself. You need processing power to account for all of the technology that all of us use. But no one wants a data center in their neighborhood or their state or their city. It's kind of like a jail. It's like lock the prisoners up, throw away the key, never let them out. Why are criminals running the streets after they've been convicted of crimes? Well, we need more prisons. Yeah, build more prisons, but not my neighborhood. Don't put a prison near me. Don't raise my taxes, but lock everybody up and never let us see them again. Okay, you can't have both. Like, you got to have prisons. Sooner or later, somewhere, somehow, a prison's going to be within, a mile or two of where you live. And no one wants that. But there it is. So, but when you think of a data center as an asset, what if the data center came into your city or your town or your state, and instead of the tax break that they got, or even if they get a tax break, maybe your utility fees go down 25%, because as the data center grows, its financial strength minimizes your tax burden or minimizes your utility bill or something like that. I don't know. But then all of a sudden you view a data center as an asset, not as a liability. Well, the same thing with AI. Like, if everyone views AI as the boogeyman and it's coming to get me and it's taking my job and it's screwing everything up, well, obviously, when you look at it that way, yeah, it sucks. It's terrible. And those things are part of it. But again, I'll go back to when Photoshop and Illustrator came on the scene. No one was super excited about the fact that colorists were no longer going to be employed and letterers were going to be out of a job. But colorists adapted and letterers adapted. They did because they had to. When Jurassic Park hit the scene, immediately stop motion animation, Stan Winston Studios, which was kind of the master of stop motion animation at the time, Jurassic Park made that obsolete. Like, you just knew it when you saw that T-Rex jump across that fence. And when you saw those brontosauruses in the sun and all of that, you knew immediately things were going to change. And if you were a stop motion animator, you had to make the leap quick. Like, they still did stop motion, but you knew that there was a huge hurdle coming and that you had to get on the off ramp, get some training, and then get back on to keep pace with where things were going. I think this is kind of apropos. I think this is very similar. Not apples and apples, it's a little bit apples and oranges, but nevertheless. And, I would hope that people that are influenced by artists right now, so kids that are influenced by certain artists, I would hope that they would influence them to continue to learn the school of hard knocks, cut your teeth, not being good, sucking, whatever, until you get to the point, your 10,000 drawings. Let's say it takes you 10,000 drawings to be good. Well, get to the point where you're competent and strong, and then you can have the pride and appreciation of having gone through those struggles to get to the level where you know that you are competent. Hey, I don't like using the term good because, as my teacher in Cuba school would say, Ben Ruiz, what is good? Good is what people will pay you for. So, but hopefully, anyone that I talk to, anyone that I could influence that's younger, obviously I'm going to tell them, do the things you got to do. And they're between Google alone and YouTube, it already makes your journey so much easier and proficient than anything that my generation was exposed to and went through coming up. I mean, you can YouTube, I don't know, how to draw buildings in 3-point perspective. You can Google it, you can YouTube it, and someone will show you exactly how to plot your points, your points and 3 points, and draw a building like you're flying in an airplane or a helicopter looking down at the Empire State Building or whatever. We didn't have that. I mean, we had to go to school and have someone show us, and then we had to do it and screw it up mightily over and over and over and over again. Well, you can screw it up mightily over and over and over again, but you don't have to pay to learn to do it. So, but you should still do it. You should still go through it and do it. So anyhow, that's my thought, and I feel the same way I did about going through, the school of hard knocks and learning. I feel the same way about that as I do about AI. In other words, I don't want it to be a cheat code for me. If I use it, I want to learn it in and out and pick and choose when and how I use it. This project that I'm going to do, that I'm going to start this year, is going to be a comic book panel illustrated story, short story that I'm going to draw each page of, each panel of, and I'm going to color them as well. I'm going to shoot it and edit it, and it's not going to be animated. It's going to be a still story, if I will, a panel story, and I'll do maybe a page a day, and I'm going to narrate it. It's going to have sound and all this stuff, and then when it's done, the very last shot, I'm going to use AI to animate it to make this creation that I create take one big step. One step. I'm not going to make it run and jump and do all this. I'm just going to make it live. I'm going to make it become alive for basically, 3 or 4 seconds. And I think that would be pretty powerful. It's very minimal, but I think it'd be pretty powerful. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, I'll document it as I go. And I hope it ends up being a very fruitful journey and something that I hope it inspires people. I feel inspired just thinking about it. So I hope other people get inspired by it. And it's cool to feel energized, It's cool to feel that about something. And that energy and excitement comes from the thought of knowing, man, I'm going to learn something. I'm going to learn something. So that's about it for now. I'm going to sign off, and me and Rama will keep driving and listen to some music. And I'll catch you on the flip side. As always, peace. Stay crafty.